All right, let's work on some articulated excerpts for orchestral auditions. Here is Mendelssohn Scherzo. So how do we work on really crisp, clear, clean articulation like this? Well, I think it comes down more so actually to the rhythm than the actual articulation itself. So first, what I'm doing is I'm making sure to establish the very first A with a lot of presence and giving it enough space, right? So I don't want to go, right? Because I'm kind of rushing to the G sharp and I'm establishing a quicker tempo than I want. So I'm making sure to go bum, 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 bum. I'm thinking of the as a separate unit leading to the next downbeat. So I'm playing it like to exaggerate it. Right, notice I also have the forward motion of so the air is always going forward. Okay. To look more about the function of the articulation, many people get stuck on the fact that they're trying to do like mixed stuff, right? I've seen the approach of like you puff the, which is if you have poor control of your tongue, and then you try to do like slurred tap articulation on dum. No, why do this? It's way too complicated. Just do the valve articulation, the what I call the sliver of light articulation, if you ever worked with me before. Then you do this instead if you're practicing slowly. So you go. Do you hear how there's the resonance, the ring in between the notes, right? So when you prepare slowly and you do the articulation like this, it's much better and it's actually much more fluid when you speed things up. Get the spit out. All right, so if you speed it up a little bit, let's go dun 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 dun. Right, then last one I kind of choked out, but in any case, let me move up this reed. The reed is too low here. Anyways. So you got to prepare it with the articulation like this, going. Right, so the air is just staying completely constant the entire time. You don't change anything with the air. You don't even change anything with really the length of the notes so much. You're just making sure dum 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 dum. You see the motion of pulling the tongue away and bringing it back should actually, I think, be the same for all of the notes. Okay, so going on. So on all of the rising figures here, I like to think about just giving a little bit more in the bass note. So in this case would be the A. Giving a little bit more air there, so then I could just let the tongue go and sort of let the air carry the phrase up. Right, so I don't have to really think about driving so much forward on all of the notes because I've already compensated by bringing a lot of air to the beginning. Then we go and then here, same thing. Really push into the E. Well, what are the notes? I don't have the music in front of me. I think those are the notes. All right, but right, and make sure that right, don't make it super obvious that you're pulsing the second time on on the D there. But do hold on a little bit so that you could keep the run in time, keep it well defined. Right, so. Okay, and then when you're doing the E, right, this gets really squirrely for people. You really just have to keep the air going straight, keep the tongue high, and like before, do the sliver of light articulation. Although, albeit, when you get into higher registers of the instrument, it's harder to do it, so you need to have a lighter tongue. You need to feel just where the right spot is, but right, and so dum bum bum, just the same motion of pulling the tongue back and quickly bringing it towards the reed again. Now, when I go bum 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 bum, it's different from the beginning, right? The beginning, right? Right? Notice I'm not enunciating the second beat, but on this next part, I am enunciating the second beat, right? So you really have to bum ba da ba dum ba ba da ba dum. Right, and then there we go back to leading. Bum 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 bum. And here you want to be careful that you're not going bum 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 bum, because you're emphasizing not the leading line, right? You want to emphasize the right, bum 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 ba ba da ba da ba dum. Bum, bum. All right, so, and then I also hear a lot of people start to rush and not really set the bum, 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 right? You should think of bum, 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 and then the C's, just a pickup going down to the low note. Bum, bum, bum. And then ba ba da ba da ba da, right? Push into the low note again and just sail up to the high note. Flute goes up, okay, so make sure that you also are audiating everything that's going on around you in the orchestra, right? That's super important for every excerpt. You want to audiate what's about to come before you start playing, and then while you're playing, you still want to hear inside your head everything that's going on, right? So going back to that. And then once you then you can come in right at the perfect time. Okay. Now this part is often perhaps the trickiest, and the one that maybe I've heard people screw up the most are the trills. Right, because it's really easy to screw it up. Now, in a previous video, if you've watched the previous video that I put out, you'll know that you just need to practice slow, right? You just need to slow the hell down. So I go through, and this is how you want to do it. You want to meter out the trills. So it's ba-di-ya-bi-da-dum, ba-ya-ya-dum. Right, so I'll demonstrate. You want to go. Right, and this way, when you do that, you want to focus on getting the proper height away from the key. That way, once you've practiced it slowly enough times, you'll actually ingrain relaxing and getting the trill to be super even. The other aspect of this is that you have to play it as if you're just playing regular eighth notes here. When you're going bum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum bum. A little bit of hemiola syncopation, whatever, right? But you want to make sure to go. Right? Don't lose the feel, right? even I do a little bit where I'm lengthening a little too much. The bum bum ba-ya-dum bum bum ba-ya-dum bum bum ba-ya-dum bum bum. It gets a little slow, right? So I have to make sure to stay exactly with the tempo. Right, so if you prepare the section like this, it'll be super reliable, given that you continue to do the right preparation, getting it up to speed, have the right mentality and everything. But it's much more reliable than just like spamming a trill and hoping that things work out in the moment, right? So, you can also do this for like Debussy. Anytime that you have a tricky trill where if you land on the wrong note, it throws you off, you want to prepare it like this, where you're going just very slow, meter out the trill. All right, so let's try to put everything together now that I just talked about and make this the most beautiful, flawless Mendelssohn Scherzo I've ever played. Not too bad. All right, so that brings us to the end. If you happen to be an auditioner yourself and you want a proven path to make your playing as effortless and consistent as possible so you can show up confident at your auditions, get better results, and ultimately do more winning and less losing, then definitely check out the link below. Otherwise, I'll see you later.